Hey guys, quick disclaimer. In this video towards the 4th place spot, when I start talking about my 4th place team, the camera quality starts going down a lot, as in, for some reason, the camera starts lagging and having a lot of frame drops. Unfortunately, I don't really have enough time before LCK starts. Upon editing this, there's about a day to get it out, and I would just prefer to take the L on it. Just this one time, and so it will be bad, and I'm fully aware of it. I don't normally hold myself to standards like this, but I just don't have enough time to effectively fix it and still make the same quality of video, because while the camera will look better for part of the video, the input that I say will probably not be the same, and I do feel like I did a pretty good job with explaining my reasoning for everything, and I just don't want to have to redo it because I feel like it won't be the same. It'll be worse off and possibly even rushed, which I don't want that to happen. So if you do comment that the video quality kind of drops off at the end, or at the very least the camera quality drops off at the end, I am aware of it, and I'm sorry. It will not happen in the next video, or in the next videos, and if it requires a format change for how I do these, then that will happen, but we do just have this small hiccup for a video, so once again, I am sorry. But anyways, please enjoy the video. Hey guys, it's me again with a haircut. It may look a little fucked up, that's because I just got it. But anyways, we're doing the LCK Summer 2023 regular season predictions. We're just going to make a sort of tier list like I'm going to be doing for the LCS and the LEC. We're doing LCK first because it starts in 3 days. Just a reminder that I'm doing these for the regular season, not including playoffs. When we get to playoffs, I'll make another video for that. As I will do the same thing for LCS, LEC, and LPL eventually. But without further ado, without delaying very much, we're just going to hop right in. And we're going to start with who I think the 10th place team is going to be, and that is going to be DRX. So unfortunately, DRX is really bad this year. They have Krako, Fate, and Rascal, who are all kind of like majorly underperforming. And then they decided to replace Dokdam with Paddock. Paddock is going to be taking the main spot, and although he's good, I don't know if Dokdam was really the problem. It's not going to save this team to replace the AD carry. It just kind of is keeping the problem there, and I feel like there's some serious like potential nepotism going on, because I don't know why Krako's still on this team. He's an absolute imposter, so it's just, I don't know. I don't like this team. I don't think they're going to do very good, and I think that they didn't solve the true problem. So yeah, this is the 10th place team, probably for me. RIP DRX. Next up is 9th place with Nongshim. Nongshim made one sort of change. They have Quad going in along with Fiesta. I think Quad's going to be starting over Fiesta. I don't think that's going to save this team though. This team is still pretty like they just don't have a wow factor. It's kind of just a meh like look for them. There's not a lot to say about these teams. They aren't gonna perform, like not even against like the 8th place and 7th place team. Like it just isn't gonna happen. But I just think that there's a 9th place team. It could also be 10th. These two bottom teams here are kind of just fighting for that last place spot, unfortunately, but I think DRX will take it just because, in my personal opinion, like Krako, Fate, Rascal are just all so much worse. Like so much worse. Anyways, that being said, we're going to move on to the 8th place team, which is Kwangdong Freaks. So once again, with the 7th place team, these are kind of just interchangeable. They're not worse than these two, but they are not better than anybody above them. But Kwangdong Freaks has a very young roster, so, you know, there's the potential to do well, but I think their lack of real experience is going to kind of harm them. And just last split, they again had a very underwhelming split. And it just doesn't look very good to them, or for them rather. So I would have to just argue that they're going to be 8th place, just because I don't really believe in this roster yet, even though they do have potential. They could show up. They have some of the highest potential, just because of their youth, and they could have possibly gotten better. But I just don't think reasonably I can say with any reasoning that is just not delusion that this team would do better than 7th or 8th. Speaking of 7th place, though, we have OK Bro. They've changed their new sponsor to OK Savings Bank, so now they're OK Bro. So I'm going to be calling them that, for as long as I have to. this team did not make any changes. To be honest, I do secretly like this team a lot. They didn't make any changes. They still have everybody, Morgan Umpty, Karasena Effort, and I think that they could show up. I don't really think they will, but at least they will be a 7th place team, so I think it's safe to say that they will be the 7th place team in the regular season. They will unfortunately miss playoffs, but they are my favorite low tier team. Moving on to the 6th place team, so this is getting into teams that will qualify for playoffs. We have Live Sandbox. So Live Sandbox made one change. They replaced Envy with Teddy. Envy went to LGD in the LPL. Teddy's now back on a main roster, which is nice because Teddy is pretty cool. I like him a lot. It's just weird that he was teamless, but it is what it is. But will this team do better than 6th place? No, I don't think so. Regardless of the fact that they have Teddy, they still have, Bertle, Willer, and Closer. And, I mean, those guys are volatile in terms of their showing as players. They can be really, really good, like they were in the first round robin of LCK Spring, or they can be really bad, like they were in the second round robin of LCK Spring. It's really hard to tell. I do like this team. I do wish that they would do better, but I cannot, in good faith, imagine that this team would do any better than 6th place. It just doesn't make sense to me. But now we're getting into the teams that have sort of a good chance, but it just doesn't make sense to me to put them very high. And it starts with HLE. So HLE, I love this team. They got my boys on them. They got Viper, the best to ever do it. Not really. One of the best to ever do it is the best way to put it. And by do it, I mean play AD carry. And they have Zeka, my GOAT, the subject of my so far biggest video yet. Please go watch it if you haven't watched it. And they have Kingen, who is also just like a fucking badass. But unfortunately, despite being a badass in Worlds Finals, he kind of has fallen off a cliff. He's become a pretty like low tier top laner in the LCK. And Zeka has kind of just gone back to being like a mid, like he's like okay. He's not like the best, mostly because the meta isn't serving to him. Akali and Sylas aren't really meta. The people who are meta are not what he plays normally. So he's kind of showing a lot of weakness because he's still kind of inexperienced with those different mid laners. Do I think that they could show up in playoffs? Maybe. They did last time. Is there a potential Worlds appearance for this team? Maybe. It's kind of hard to say compared to the other top 4 teams, but I could say with confidence that this team will be 5th place in the regular season at the very least. I don't think that they will do any worse than that though, or any better. Also, I'd also like to add that they have Clid and Life, and they both suck, so Clid sucks. Eat shit, Clid. Anyways, my hating is over with in that regard. And we're going to move on to the 4th place team, which is going to be Genji. Now hear me out. I got to explain this. Doran is not that good. Peanut is not that good. Chovy is falling back into his old form. Do you hear me? Good. That's why this team's gonna be 4th. In the regular season, they could show up in playoffs, absolutely. They could win playoffs, absolutely. But based on how they did at MSI, it does not look good for them. Pays kind of showed his weaknesses at MSI, much like Stixay did. Granted, Pays is a much better player. I'm just saying that, it's like going international kind of was a big adjustment for him, Pays, and so I think that it just doesn't look that good. I think that the top side is really weak. Doran is literally like he's not a fit for this team. Peanut needs to go. So unless they show up, I don't think this team will do better than 4th. And another very controversial take I'm going to have here is my 3rd place team, which is going to be T1. Now, let me explain once again. This team has started showing some cracks. I think that at the same, like MSI, they showed a lot of weakness. They actually did not have very many good series. they just looked like a really bad team, at least for what we consider T1 to be. Like, if you compare T1 at Worlds last year and T1 during the spring regular season, like to like how they looked in spring playoffs and at MSI, it's just like they've been tumbling and the pressure's kind of building up. I do think this team will go to Worlds at the very least, and they'll definitely make it to playoffs, but I just feel like in the regular season they're not going to show up compared to these next two teams. And I just believe that they look weak, and so they're going to take some time to recover, and that's going to come at the cost of losing some series at the beginning or, you know, the middle of the split. But, you know, T1 and Gen.G are kind of just in this recovery phase, and that's going to definitely hurt them during the regular season. That being said, who is our second place team? Now, I used to be a hater, but I can't believe I'm saying this, but Damwon is going to be our second place team, or sorry, D plus Kia is going to be our second place team. I'm saying this because I have full faith in this team. They got the boys, they got Deft, Canyon, and Showmaker, and I think that they're all going to look a lot better this split. Best reason for me is for each. I think the meta is going to look really good for Deft. Zeri's going to be back. Ezreal's looking strong. He might be a good sleeper pick. Deft is good at Jinx. Jinx is good right now. But I think that I truly can believe in Deft here. I will be very excited to see him perform. I love Deft. Showmaker hopefully has taken the time to recuperate and come out of the slum that he was in last split. And Canyon, the meta is his. They got Kha'Zix, they got Rengar, they got Nidalee, they got Elise. These are all picks that are semi-viable, and I think that he should go for it. I think Canyon can put himself back onto the forefront as a carry for this team, and that is where Canyon performs best. I'm definitely praying that they can do well, because this is a fun team to watch, admittedly, and I must repent for my sins against Damwon in the past. So yeah, this is the second place team, and that leaves the number one team for the regular season, the boys, the one and only KT Rolster. Now, I fucking love this team. I fucking love this team so much. They got Keen, they got Cuz, they got BDD, they got Aiming, and they got Lehans, who are all, in my personal opinion, top 3 in their roles in the LCK. I would say that BDD is one of the most consistently well-performing mid laners in the past few years. Despite being on Nongshim last year and having a really bad time, he's still a very high performer. He definitely performed really well last split. Keen is a consistently good top laner. He can play anything. Aiming has been showing up as one of the better AD carries in the league, especially now that Ruler's gone. He's definitely looking like one of the best, if not the best AD, plus Zeri's meta. Aiming's really fucking good at Zeri, so that's good. Cuz has been showing up a lot. He definitely has proved himself as a top 3, at least, or at the very least top 4 jungler, and Lehans is just Lehans. It's hard to be bad with Lehans, you know. So I do think this team in the regular season will dominate. They had a really strong showing last split, and they just lost to good form Gen.G and T1, and now they are going to be at the forefront here. And I strongly believe that KT Rolster will take the regular season in first place. And I love this team. Go KT Rolster. Love you guys. That being said, that is the entirety of this list. I will be trying to edit this really quickly and getting it out before Wednesday. It should come out Monday or Tuesday, so hopefully it comes out by then. But until then, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any opinions on this, if you want to send me your prediction ranking for the regular season, go ahead and do it. Tell me why I'm wrong or why I'm right. And I'll see you guys in the next one of these, and the next one will probably be the LEC one, actually, I think. So it might be LCS LEC, I don't remember. It depends on which one starts first. That being said, I'll see y'all around, so peace.